All right, we're going to call the meeting to order. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the meeting of February 28th, 2019. Ben, you take the roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Long. Here. Council members Achara.
Here.
Napolitani.
Here.
Shepherd.
Here.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Here, everybody please rise for a pledge of allegiance, and then please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer thereafter.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The notice requirement for the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press Coaster, posted in Town Hall, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk on December 28th, 2018. There are two fire exits, one to my left, which will take you out to the back parking lot, and one to my right, which will take you out to the front parking lot. If you have a cell phone, we just ask that you turn the volume off. You can keep it on if you want to take pictures or anything like that. If you need to make a call, just kindly go out to the hallway, because we do tape and record all of our meetings, and it does run interference. So before we get started, I'm going to see, do we have any council reports tonight, John?
No report.
Don, I know you must have something for us.
I do. St. Patrick's Day, March 15th at 6 p.m. in the Renaissance Room. We have corned beef and cabbage, and we will have some fish. I don't know what kind of fish yet, and some other pastas and other food. We will have DJ Saxman Dan, and we will also have the Irish Heritage dancers. They will be going on at 8 o'clock.
Great.
And all kinds of nifty things. It's $20 a person, and you get food and wine and beer.
Awesome.
Can't meet the price.
No,
Meet the
you
price.
cannot.
And it's flyer. I do have flyers.
Yeah, if you have anything, we can go to our website also. They can pick up
Yes.
all the info there.
Okay.
Okay. Rich, you have anything for us tonight?
Yes, Mayor, I do. I have three items I'd like to share with the general public tonight. The first item deals with the Community Hope Fund. As the Vice President of the Community Hope Fund, I am pleased to announce that our nonprofit is once again offering grants to local organizations that promote positive youth development. The application form is available at the Township's Department of Human Services on Deal Road, or the application can be downloaded from the Community Hope Fund website. The applications are due by this coming May 31st. The second item involves the mayor's recent articles in the Coaster and in the Link, which discuss the history of Ocean Township as we celebrate our town's 170th birthday. His articles trace Ocean's history back to the 17th century and detail the town's remarkable growth and progress. I publicly thank the mayor for providing a history lesson for all of us. The third item involves recent criticism I have received from a certain bitter, angry couple who claim I, according to them, go, quote, out of my way to praise the mayor, unquote. Well, I guess I just highlighted the mayor's efforts to celebrate our town's 170th birthday, so this angry, bitter couple will think I've gone, quote, out of my way, quote, to praise him. Let me say this to that angry, bitter couple. Number one, I don't go out of my way to praise Mayor Siciliano. He sits right next to me. It's a short distance. Number two, if I want to criticize Mayor Siciliano, I do it in a private conversation with him. I don't do it in public. Number three, if I feel he is deserving of praise, I offer praise. There is so much anger and bitterness in this world that I am happy to say something positive. Number four, I have no doubt that that same angry, bitter couple will find fault with me again. But I have a constitutional right to speak my mind. And if I want to praise someone, I will. That's all I have, Mayor.
No more praise?
At this time, no.
Darn it. We'll wait. Rob, do you have anything nice to say about me?
Switch seats so I. I think that was good. Just so I don't have to follow Rich. I have one thing. Planning board meeting was held this past Monday night. I was able to attend the first session of the what's the word I'm looking for? I got a brain freeze tonight. I should write things down like you do. You had me going. The first petition was for the Krausers on Deal Road. We did approve that. They are going to improve the facility. They're going to put Nathan's in there. They're going to put Manhattan Bagel, and they're going to keep Krausers in there. So that'll be hopefully started soon. Nice improvement. The other two agenda items I was not able to stay for. I had a conflict. I will also mention that there are two special meetings of the planning board for the Deal 35 land development. That'll be March the 4th and March the 11th, and that'll be over at the high school.
Great. Thank you. Mike?
I have no report.
Marty?
Well, I had something nice to say about Richard Long, but I'm not going to say it. I don't want these people mad at me.
Oh, boy. All right. I'll just say I want to thank you guys for your report. Thank you, Rich, for that. And Rich is right. When he wants to admonish me, he does so. But we do it in private, like gentlemen. I think that's protocol instead of doing that out publicly. And like he says, if somebody deserves praise, any one of us, and I think Rich or anybody really, they dish that out. So no problem there. I will mention, because our next meeting is not until March, late March, we are having an Easter egg hunt this year. And that'll be in conjunction with the Easter Bunny breakfast over at the Oakhurst Firehouse. So the Easter egg hunt will be at the Fireman's Field in Oakhurst. We're going to put a flyer up later. I'm going to wait till after St. Patty's Day, of course. We don't want to trip over that one, but I won't see you till after then. So I thought I'd mention it just so you have that in your head. It will be an Easter egg hunt. It's going to be a lot of fun. Kids ages from 2 to 10. And we'll get the info out to you. Okay. With that,
Yeah, that's about, I think, April 14th.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure we
Yeah.
started getting it. Okay, so the purpose of the public portion is to solely ask questions, understand resolutions and vouchers that appear on agendas, not an occasion for a public hearing on an ordinance. All questions not related to an item on the agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of the meeting. Right now, does anybody have anything on the consent agenda or the resolutions, since there are no ordinances? Anything on our agenda? Come on up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
You could drop it. There you go.
My name is Dennis Howlett. I live at 1638 Holbrook Street. It's Howlett, Howlett. I was looking at the agenda earlier today, and there are two attachments, I believe, that have something to do with the consent agreement. I looked at the first attachment, but the second one is not available to read. It doesn't show up on the website. Not a complaint. It's just that there was nothing there. It said
On
not
our consent
available.
agenda wasn't on there?
No, the agenda was there.
Okay.
But when you look at the item, what was it, like C1 or something like that?
Oh, those were our closed.
The closed session.
Those are
Yes.
C is closed session.
Yeah, but that was on the agenda for tonight.
Yeah, that's for a closed. That's stuff we usually do with legal or personnel.
You talking about the minutes weren't available for the close?
No, I'm sorry. I might have
There was
made a mistake here.
no. Yeah,
Okay.
we don't publish. I mean, you're not privy to that until
But the
it's
first
resolved.
part of it was
Yes.
C1, whatever.
Yeah.
Number 1, and then there was a number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Three items.
those matters are for closed sessions, so there's never going to be anything. It's just the item. It's just a description of the item that's going to be discussed. There's not going to be any attachments to those items.
But there was an attachment. For the first one, there wasn't one for the
I
second.
don't know what he's talking about. That he's not talking about that.
Either C2 or C3.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
C2 we took out of closed.
Yeah, C2 was not enclosed. We actually had that in open session.
Maybe that's
Oh, okay.
what he
I just
saw.
That's what you saw.
Nothing
Okay,
there.
Dennis. Yeah.
Not a problem.
Maybe what
Okay.
he saw.
Mystery solved. Mystery solved. Now I know what it was. Thank you. Anybody else? See or hear no one. Someone please offer the workshop meetings for January 24th, 2019. Oh, yes. Come on up. I'm sorry. This is on the consent agenda. Just on items on the agenda. No.
No.
That's at the end of the meeting.
Someone please offer the minutes for January 24th, 2019 workshop meetings.
I'll off the minutes.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long,
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and for tonight we have consent agenda 19022 through 19047. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes on everything but 19022. I'll abstain.
Council members Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. For individual action, we have Resolution 19038, authorize the Township Manager to execute an agreement with the United States Department of Agriculture for Wildlife Management Services for the period of February 1st, 2019 through September 30, 2019, at a cost not to exceed $2,522. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19039, authorize the following 2018 contracts for the William F. Larkin Golf Course at Colonial Terrace: A. Geese Chaser LLC and B. Vic Gerard Golf Cars LLC. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19040, authorize a professional service contract with Mark S. Ruderman Esquire in the firm of Ruderman Roth LLC to provide legal services for labor issues not to exceed $90,000 for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2019. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19041, authorize a tax collector to issue a refund to Loretta LLC for the overpayment of first quarter 2019 taxes on Block 138, Lot 8701, in the amount of $4,594.48. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19042, approve the following change orders to Fernandez Construction, Inc. A. 2014 roadway improvement change order number 2, increase of $43,925. B. 2014 roadway improvement change order number 5, increase of $26,960. C. Interim roadway improvement program number 2, change order number 1, no change in the price. And D. 2014 road improvement change order number 6, decrease of $4,904.88. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani. Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19043, authorize a tax collector to cancel added and omitted taxes for the year of 2017, 2018, and refund credit to tax overpayments resulting from the Monmouth County Board of Taxation judgments to the taxpayers. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
And yes. 19044, authorize a continuance of the shared service agreement with Monmouth County Sheriff's Department for computer-related services to support dispatch and functions at a cost not to exceed $39,293.23. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19045, approve the contract with Jungle Lasers LLC for the alarm registration system utilized by the Township of Ocean Police Department. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19046, authorize a maintenance agreement for the Police Department live scan fingerprint machine from Indemnia Identity and Security USA LLC at a cost not to exceed $3,930.57. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. 19048, authorize the extension of the shared service agreement with the Borough of West Long Branch for municipal court services for a 5-year period commencing April 1st, 2019. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. And 19049, authorize the 2019 emergency temporary appropriations in accordance with NJSA 40A:4-20. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. Now, if anybody has anything germane to Ocean Township business, now's the time to come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, I'm Michelle Cross, 1318 Vina Ave. I just wanted to follow up from last week's meeting. We had a speaker come, Bill Kasnig from the Monmouth Conservation Foundation, and my question is, were you able to reach out to him?
I didn't speak to Bill. Well, I spoke to him by email this week, and we did exchange a small paragraph. But John also reached out to the conservation group last year at the Green Fair, and we spoke to him. And what they do, basically, they help you locate funds. They don't have money to loan you, right?
I understand what they do.
Okay. Yeah.
So, do you intend on working with them
Absolutely.
for the Deal Road and?
Yeah.
So you intend to work with them to secure funds to buy that property to preserve
Take
it.
money from wherever we can get it.
So then you are interested in their offer to help.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't that be?
Is this something that you'll be working with them like within the next few weeks? Can you keep us involved in what the conversation is, how we can help?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's
if
the
there's
process
much- well,
that's
not
happening
much.
right now with them?
Right now, what has to happen first, we have to come up with an agreement on the property and how we're actually going to do swap, purchase, etc. What we're going to be getting from that piece up there, and then we'll sit down with him and go over the cost, and then we'll tell him see how much he can get for us with that. So it's really nothing the public has to do. I mean, Bill can probably handle that. Green Acres also will seek those funds as well.
Well, I think there's a lot of interest in preserving that property, as you know. So anything we can do to help, I know that we would want to.
Okay. You're welcome. Anybody else? Yes, Scott, you were first.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Sharp, Wanamassa. Mayor and council, I guess. No, I'm not going to talk about Deal Road
Scott, pull it
Deal
up.
Road 35.
Just pull it up a little bit toward you.
Yeah, you're tall.
Yeah.
You're a big guy.
Is that okay?
Beautiful.
Fine. No, I'm not going to talk about Deal Road 35. I could, because there's a lot to talk about with this group, but I'm going to move to a topic from the last meeting and the one before that I brought up that I'm not sure this council really grasped. And it has to do with the approval for you to go out and get a bond to buy the property on Logan Road. And the topic I brought up was total cost of ownership. Now, I believe that this township, as many professionals as are in this building, should understand total cost of ownership. And you touted that this is inconsequential to the taxpayers, $35 a year. That's just the bond. And what I want to know from this township, and I'll just list them off as typical, because these are costs that are going to be passed on to the next council, but I, as a taxpayer, if I live that long, will be paying these costs. And you have a responsibility to come up with the taxpayers, not just the yearly budget, but what are going to be the implications of that 5 years, 10 years. It's a very standard thing that's done in business, and you all should know that. So I'll give you a couple of topics that you can think about. Are the doors on that building, do they meet fire code? Are there any safety issues in the building? Are the doors able to be properly secured at night? Does it have a fire detection system and alarm code that meets code? Is there anything that needs painting? Is plumbing up to ADA compliance? Are the doors, entry doors, ADA compliant? The roof condition. When will the building have to have internet access if and when you decide whether or not to put a township organization in there? They're probably going to have some of that. What's the condition of the heating system? Air conditioning? Parking areas, do they need paving? All of that should have been looked at before you committed to buy that property. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm opposed to buying the property. I just want to know what bill you're going to give me. And then we could go on from there. What are the utilities? Electric, gas, internet, phone, the cost of heating that building in the winter, it could be substantial. Who's paying that? I am, and every other taxpayer in this town. Does a township going to have to pay additional insurance on that building once you acquire it? A forecast. When is the HVAC system going to fail or need to be replaced? That's something that homeowners do all the time. You plan. There's a budget out there. But when that is, you're going to be out there for $25,000, $35,000, $45,000 to replace it. And, you know, I realize that you have township employees, that's what you said, Mr. Mayor, that you have employees that are going to mow the grass. Great. But what if you push that group that takes care of roads and grounds just over the tipping point of having to hire an additional employee? Man, we have, you know what people cost. That's your biggest cost in this township, probably with going along with education. And all you have to do is add one, and we're gonna really feel the heat, and you'll be gone. Of course, maybe you'll be a multi-term mayor, but you could be around at that time. And so my request, almost a demand for this entire council, is to prepare a report for the taxpayers on total cost of ownership of the property on Logan Road. You should probably also do it for that new golf course building you bought. But what's it going to cost the taxpayers downstream? I could care less about the bond. Yeah, it's amortized over a long time, big deal.
Right.
But you all should have known that before you decided to buy this building. Again, I'm not necessarily opposed to buying the building. I just want to know what bill you're going to give me.
Good. No, good stuff, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can answer half of the things on the list immediately because they were this close to moving in, and they had our fire department, everybody was there. So as far as all the ADA, fire safety, all that's been done. We also have the bills list, which I'll send you because we're taking it off the building that we have at 1001 Wickapeco, and we know about what it is monthly, close to what I gave you in the email. Secondly, I had a cost estimate just to knock it down. It's $125,000, and there's no further cost. Third, it's not going to cost us anything this year. We just are in the middle of our budget season, and it looks like there's not going to be a budget increase with that building in there, and with $300,000 for capital improvements on the 1001 Wickapeco building. No cost to the taxpayer. So,
Yeah.
pretty
But
good.
when you make those decisions, I don't consider that rambling in this meeting to be an adequate answer.
Okay, we'll
It ought to
get
be
you,
written down
we'll get
and
you something written
presented
down.
on a meeting so that we can say, okay, I know what I'm going to be posed with. And because I can't go back and say, well, I remember the mayor in,
Well, tape it,
2019 said, I'm
watch the
not going to
tape.
go back and do that.
I know.
You know that.
I know you don't want
So I would urge you to kind of give that a serious
Yes.
thought. You should have done that when you came forward with the request for the ordinance for the bond.
Well, I had an idea that knocking it down would end any further cost.
Well,
How's that?
as a taxpayer, you got to show me.
125,000. I got an engineer's estimate to knock it down
Okay.
and remove the rubble.
Publish the engineer's estimate.
Okay.
Publish.
Thank you, Scott. Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Sullivan.
Mayor and council, Edward Vincent Colleen Sullivan. I reside at 721 Corley's Avenue. I received another 5 tickets to appear in this same room on March 5th. There was Maurice, things were under a tarp. We addressed that yesterday. I'm trying to comply, but I was a little. Town attorney was nice enough to meet me. I appreciate that, but the tickets did come out first. I was told I would have a meeting before the tickets, but now they're here. And like I said, to my knowledge, we're not bothering anybody. I know you have a problem that there's somebody that's just fixating simply on property values, and everybody living with me, we are a family, but they're not blood relatives, and I know someone's coming at you, and due to the system of anonymous complaint that you can't tell me who it is, it wouldn't matter anyway. But I mean, I'm feeling like we're trying in every way we can to cooperate, and yet I'm feeling like we're being a little bit picked on because you have people pressuring you. You know, all we really want to do is be able to live and let live. We're not bothering anybody.
No, Mrs. Sullivan, I think we've spoken about this before, and
But
they've been very patient with you. Before
yes,
they
you
even,
have. But I mean, I did get these 5 tickets. I really am. I don't understand it.
before any summons were issued, I think we went on for over a year with the neighbors. It wasn't just one neighbor; it's several. You're a super nice guy, and you're doing something really nice. You're collecting people, and you're taking care of them.
I'm not collecting. These are stable people.
Okay, but you have
Mayor,
folks in
I
your
don't need
home. You open up your home as a really nice gesture is what you're doing. You opened your home to these folks, and it's not a communal
I
thing.
understand.
It's supposed to be a residential neighborhood, and neighbors are
absolutely
complaining.
And I did get way out of hand. You were surprised to know that these complaints back when the last court session was, where I had 9 tickets, the complaints were back like a year and a half ago. Now the court was very gracious to give me, or I'm sorry, the council was. You were, Mayor, that you gave me you postponed the court to Christmas before last so I could visit my stepmother. That was part of the delay, and I'll be forever grateful for that.
Yeah, our
You
pleasure.
know, that it was a spirit of cooperation, but in fairness to us, there were 7 people the town objected to. You know, it took a little doing, and it cost a little money to do it, but these people are not there. They're relocated. They're in better. Everyone in our house did apply when Section 8 opened up, and didn't win that lottery. I mean, there's 655 people for Monmouth County, 600 whatever. I don't know the double-digit things, but there's a lot of people applying for those. We didn't get that. I guess they want us to drop 2 people, but because of prior relocating people, which I was under pressure to do, and did accomplish, succeeded, did what they asked me to do, and place the people that were problematic. Right now, we're a little bit, people in my house are living a little bit like refugees, in the sense that we don't want to bother anybody. We don't want to be a pariah. And you know, the people have enough humility to one, these are pretty stable people.
Right.
And 2, they have the humility to chill out.
The most we can do for you, because this is really a court matter at this point. I mean, we can't.
Still, you're the power.
We can't usurp the judgment or the authority of the court. We can
the
ask.
judge will
Wait,
do
let
whatever
me-
he wants,
excuse me,
but Mayor,
Mr.
you
Sullivan.
are the power structure.
No,
you are
no.
You are the town.
Mr. Sullivan,
These tickets were
Mr.
ordered.
Mr. Sullivan,
I,
the court is a separate. I'm right here.
yeah, but people issue the summonses. The
I'm-
judge didn't issue the summonses.
Okay.
Someone
Our
within the
attorney's going
township
to. Our
did.
attorney's going to answer.
You and I, we met,
Yes.
and if you recall, when we were here in November or whatever, you said you're not going to throw these people out over Christmas. This is after you got rid of some of the people, and we postponed it till after
Which,
Christmas.
thank you for that.
Right.
I'm
Then
grateful.
we met, and I think I'm the one who pointed out to you that these new summonses you had, you had to be in court. Remember, you weren't even aware
Yeah,
that you had to be in
thank
court.
you,
Right.
because that's
Okay.
scary. I would have.
I'm glad I did that.
Thank
But
you.
my understanding of those summonses, and they are the same summonses that were issued before for items that have never been corrected after the judge said you got to do A, B, C, and D, fix these items, and you didn't fix them, and so now you have new summonses for, I believe, the same violations, at least certainly in part, maybe totally. In addition, when we met, I think you acknowledged that some of the rooms where you have people living, at least one of them, maybe more, but at least one of them, may have more people in it than they should.
Under the
Right.
uniform.
Under what our regulations are, which are reasonable regulations, that you have, I think,
Uniform.
one room, with 3 people living in it, that in theory should only have 1 person, I think is what we said. But we were going to send somebody out, I don't know if they've gotten there yet,
No.
to measure your rooms and determine how many bedrooms you actually have,
Right.
how many people you can have per bedroom, and how many people can be in that house. In addition, as you know, we discussed how you put up a divider between one part of the house and another part of the house,
Right.
which is inappropriate. We talked about that.
Well, you were gonna, that person that you were gonna send over was gonna advise me, because we have 2 potential entrances into Michael's
So
section.
but we still have
That guy hasn't come yet.
we still have substantial issues, and certainly some of the issues have been resolved. And the people that were living in the garage and the people that were living in the driveway,
Yeah,
that's
that's over.
they're gone. So, but that didn't mean that solved all the problems.
No.
And again, the tickets were issued because the problems that they talked about the last time you were in municipal court that you were going to resolve, apparently you had 9 tickets, you're down to 5, so 5 problems were not resolved.
Now, he buffed me on every one except one.
Mhm.
I basically got, I'm glad that they didn't throw anyone out, and he said that this is why I'm going to these meetings. He said the town has a recourse to go to Superior Court and throw us out. To me, that's kind of scary, and it kind of reeks
And
of
that's-
communism. I mean,
well, I don't think
that's-
it-
do you think that's right?
I
As a citizen of this country?
Well,
This
I'm a
country is
citizen.
worth,
I'm a citizen of this country.
yes.
And
it
we
was-
have certain rules and
we
regulations
have
that
rules and regulations, but we also have rights, constitutional rights.
Right.
5,000 dead people under a park in Philadelphia that the British froze to death. Freedom doesn't come free. I don't want to go into war, but if you start throwing people out, I have no choice.
Well,
And I will get political. I will stay legal, but I will get political.
That's
I'll do whatever
fine.
I
You're
have to do.
entitled.
I love my country. Big time. This isn't right. They're harassing us. I mean, I'm trying to comply. We got rid of the piles. We cleaned the trash. We placed 7 people.
What were
And
the-
there was supposed to be a meeting before these tickets were issued. Now, I appreciate I appreciate the meeting. And I'll always talk, love, listen, learn, be patient, and bite my pride. But at the same time, my rights are being violated here. There was
Nobody's
supposed
rights-
to be a meeting before these tickets were issued.
We,
I got clobbered
Mr. Sullivan,
financially,
we delayed
$6,500
the meeting.
Poor people.
We delayed the meeting at your request because you didn't
I
want to do
appreciate
that.
that.
Okay, that was one of the
It would have been
reasons.
really nasty evicting people before Christmas.
You are
time.
absolutely right.
And I don't
We're
think
the
most
town
of
of gracious living. We don't like to be nasty, but you
Yeah,
have
and-
neighbors who are still not happy.
Sometimes corporations are nastier than the stockholders want them to be.
Okay.
And I appreciate your graciousness there. I do. It was really nice. There's an old saying, Irish saying, if you don't bring home the bacon, you get treated like a pig. It was nice to be able to come home and say, okay, you're not going to get thrown out before Christmas time. And believe me, I was grateful. And I'm still grateful that I know really you don't want to throw us out. You don't want to kick people to the curb. But there's somebody, and there's nothing wrong with being a young urban professional. It's not a sin to be rich. But there's some yuppie coming at you saying single family only. You can't do that to a homosexual family, but you can to where there's stable people staying in a home, with my pleasure. And I don't think I should have gotten the second round of tickets.
Because you
I had
didn't
no
resolve.
choice but to appear, but
because-
I'm kind of being victimized here a little bit, and certainly we're being harassed.
Can I ask one simple question? Do you disagree with the 5 summonses you got?
I don't think they should be there. 2 of them are wrong. The one, okay, gave me leverage to get somebody to, Marie to deal with her things, and they're in the garage. But I did the last one. I'm helping out the town. I mean,
So hold on. There are
I'm
5
donating $1,800 for that. Okay, trash your yard. It wasn't that bad, but I think that's sufficient. And we are cleaning it up more and more. We're going to try to make it really nice. When the weather turns, I'll certainly do Clorox and TXP and get rid of some of the mold and things like that. Not the mold, the mildew. You get green sometimes. Yeah, maintenance, I got to do better. There's room for improvement. But I want to be a good citizen. I don't want to be. We always say hello to our neighbors, and I've told everyone, say hello, don't get in their face, but do it right and be polite. You know, we're gracious people too.
Yeah.
You know, just because maybe I drive a 95 Chevy and you drive a, you know, Lincoln Continental, God bless you. I'm happy for you. But we're gracious people. Poor people are gracious too. Can be. We can be gracious or ungracious just like rich people. We're the poor relation in the town, yeah. But we're you know, I like to think we're nice people. And it's not like a transient crowd here. And I see a lot of people I know are hurting. I'd love to help, but I'm not. You know, because we can't. We have the ordinances. And we've been trying to downsize and doing our level best to comply. It's not like I'm saying like, oh, you know, freak it. We're not. We're trying to comply. I don't know what we're going to do. You know, we're short in the one room. I don't know, who do you kick out? And how much?
I think
it's a tight market around here, and we're not getting any help from social services. I'm a professional in the sense of knowing what you get and what you don't.
Mr. Sullivan,
You know, I have no pride. I ask.
on your summons, they have a court date.
Yeah, it's March
So
5th.
when you go in, just talk to Mario, the prosecutor, and talk to the judge, and just tell them that you were hoping that those were going to cross in the mail, and see what they can do. They always want to work with you. I think you know that.
The judge is a nice guy,
Yeah.
but I mean, I did.
They feel for you. They want to work with you, but they also have a fiduciary responsibility to the neighbors. So I go to court first and find out what they can do for you, and then we'll talk. How's that?
All right, fair enough. No
Great.
choice but to go to court.
All right. Thanks for coming, Mr. Sullivan.
Yeah, God bless you,
You
and
too.
those you love.
Have a nice day.
Take care.
You too.
Well, good. Anybody else have anything? Dennis again? You finished that crossword puzzle? Now you're going to come on up and...
He wants to know, it starts with a C. 7 letters.
Council, right? Dennis Howlett, 1638 Holbrook Street again. I'm sort of seconding what Michelle said before. I didn't even know Michelle up until now. You've been working hard, I believe, on trying to do this
Yeah.
land swap. And I don't know if there's any more progress reports on that. But I've heard you speak a few times at different meetings. And you said if that doesn't work, you have Plan B and Plan C and Plan D. I was never at a meeting where I heard what Plan B or C or D could be. Is that something you could share with us?
Well,
And let me add more one thing. I'd like to second what she said. If there are things that people in the community could help you do, or if you could get effort from people in the community, I'm sure we'd be available to do it. And I'm sure you'd get a lot of support. Because really, we would very much like to see less development in the area than is proposed.
great. So Plan A, of course, is to swap the land straight up. That may not happen. Plan B will be swapping a portion of the land with this. Plan C will be just not swapping any of the land. We just buy as much as we can of it. Plan D would be a hybrid of all of the above, swapping a piece, buying a little piece, using some funds from open space tax, Green Acre, and whatever else we can grab from the conservation folks or anybody. So I'm open to receive money from anybody that's willing to give it, of course. So open space tax is going to play a part of it. So it's important that we have that in there. That will play a part of preserving as much of that property as we can.
Okay, I thought I heard in one of the recent meetings that we're too late to apply for certain
No,
Green Acre stuff.
you're too late for this year.
Mhm.
But remember, when you're bonding to buy a piece of property, we did it with the golf course, and we've done it with other pieces of property, play a park. You can apply for Green Acres to help pay your carrying cost each year. You can say, okay, well, we have this piece of property, you have a 10-year bond on it. We want to apply again. How much was the purchase price? $5 million, whatever. I'm just throwing a number. Okay, you're eligible for another 150 this year. It depends on the pool of folks who are looking for the funds. Like I said, last year, 2 hay farms up in Warren County were sold, for $2 million. They're each over 100 acres, So you compete with that,
Right.
your highway front property. There's still money out there somehow. I'm sure we'll get a piece of it, but so it's based on that. Just because you missed this year's funding doesn't mean you're not going to get Green Acres funding to carry the cost of the property down the road.
Okay,
Fair enough?
thank you.
Good, thanks, Dennis. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name's Andrew Lechnick. I live at 4 Pal Drive, over off Bound Road.
Yep.
I'm very new to government. I showed up to an environmental commission meeting, and that was literally the first government meeting I've ever been to.
I was there.
Remember.
Yep, saw you.
I showed up at that just to get an understanding of what's kind of on the agenda for the town environmentally, because I'm very concerned about the odors from the landfill on Shaftdale Road. I know we've made a lot of progress so far, and Monmouth County has a bond ordinance for $7.5 million to try to remediate that. But I'm afraid that they consider it to be a solution for a one-time problem that's come up in the past year. And I just wanted to report on behalf of my neighborhood that there have been odor problems for as long as I've lived there, the past 7 years. Maybe not every day or every week, but once or twice a month since I've moved into that house. I've kind of regretted moving into Ocean Township in that neighborhood. So I appreciate the letter that you've sent to Monmouth County to ask for any kind of
something.
remediation or
Reparations.
Reparations was the word. That's it. But I also wanted to make sure that our complaints from our neighborhood were heard, and that it was clear that it's not just a 2018 or 2019 issue that we're dealing with. And I would stand opposed to Phase 4 to expand the landfill through 2040. And I would stand opposed to renewing their hosting contract in Tinton Falls, but we have really no say in that. So thank you for what you've done so far. And if there's anything else that can be done, I would sincerely appreciate it.
The freeholder director made a public comment within the last week, and he's aware of the situation, Mr. Arnone, and he's doing what he and the Board of Chosen Freeholders can do to address the issue. He's well aware of it, and he said that he's doing whatever he can to try to ameliorate that situation. You know, Councilman Napolitani's been in touch with some of our elected officials, and I don't know if he wants to comment on that, but it affects
our
him
senator
as well.
as well has a an email that he would request any complaints come in. I also, like Deputy Mayor Long, have been in touch with Freeholder Director Arnone about it. Text him daily when there's a smell.
I appeared in front of Director Arnone Tuesday.
Yeah,
You did. You went to
concerns.
the
Good.
great.
along with our clerk. She lives in town, the county clerk.
Yeah.
So she's affected by it as well, which
She lives in Wayside as well.
is kind of good for us because she's out there every day complaining about it in Freehold. So they are doing a lot, and they are working in conjunction with each other. The mayor and I went to the meeting out in Tinton Falls, and that meeting was packed. I mean, it was Tinton Falls, Ocean Township, Neptune, and any surrounding towns that it affects. And they are trying to do everything they can.
Yeah, and that meeting is one of the reasons I'm here, is because I was absolutely appalled at the number of complaints reported by the DEP, because I've been calling that number every month, at least once or twice, since I moved into that neighborhood 7 years ago. And the complaint was only recorded anywhere if they send an investigator to your house, the smell is still present when the investigator arrives, and you fill out a subsection 5 complaint form, and that frankly has never happened. So my complaints have been unheard for 7 years, and now I'm here because of that.
Right.
Thank you all very much for what you've done so far.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Michelle Cross, the 1318 Vina Ave. For your concern, and I was thinking about this because I was reading on Ocean Cares that people were having so many issues with the smell from the landfill, and I think that it would benefit the community to talk about composting. It's something super easy to do in your backyard. It will pretty much lower your garbage by half. We compost in our backyard, and we only have to put our garbage out once every 2 weeks, sometimes once every 3 weeks. So I think this is something that really needs to be addressed and like brought to the community to teach people how to compost. It's very easy. And maybe, I mean, obviously, like, mass consumption is obviously adding to this. So just offering suggestions to help with that smell. I don't smell it, or at least I don't think I smell it, so...
Yeah, not where you are, but Wayside. They're definitely in a battleground. But
I think that could be really helpful for our community, because that will help your problem.
Great idea. I think what we'll do is we still have time for a spring newsletter Maybe I can get something from the Environmental Commission on compost and we'll put a blurb in there.
There was a fantastic article in Edible Jersey. I don't know if you guys get that magazine. You get it at like the restaurants and the other stores that usually advertise in it. And it had an incredible article that I can bring to the Environmental Commission so that we can talk about it. So my second thing is just going back to what Dennis was talking about, Plan A, your plans for the Deal Road in 35, and you said your Plan A was the swap. So that's the swap with the developer. Is that what your Plan A is?
Yeah.
So is there any way that we can get Plan A to be working with MCF to get funding?
Not until we have it ironclad, nailed down. So not until we have a written agreement signed by everybody can we actually have then move for funding.
And a written agreement signed by what's everybody?
The town and the developer.
So it's my understanding that the developer hasn't purchased the property yet. Is that correct?
He's a contract purchaser. Actually, it's a third party that we'd be purchasing the property from. It's a little complicated. He's partnered with a residential builder for the homes in the back, and then he's building the homes in the front, the commercial development in the front.
So can't our third party be MCF? What's the difference? We're still having
because he
have to
will
have a
not
third
sell
party
his
in there.
contract because they have a contract. That's why you can't break it up.
Who has the contract?
The Lennar Builders, Lennar Homes, and Paramount Realty.
They have a contract
With each
between
other.
themselves.
Yes, correct.
Right, but your contract
Would
with the property isn't with them.
No,
We don't have any.
we don't have any contract.
There's a owner of the property. They have a contract with the developer, which is actually just Paramount Realty. They have a contract with Paramount Realty, and so that's the contract. We're not a party to any contract.
Right. So there's a third party involved in order to buy the property. I understand because of the Stop and Shop litigation. So I'm curious, why can't we utilize a separate third party, which is MCF, to get funding to buy that property? Why can't we do that?
Well, because right now that property's under contract with the current developer, so they already have a contract to sell the property to the developer, so they have a contract. And frankly, I'm not sure if that was the guy that was here last time,
Bill.
because we spoke a little bit on the parking lot. I sort of he seemed to indicate there really wouldn't be. And John, you were talking.
We spoke to Bill
wasn't
outside,
very much money
and
potentially available that he would be able to obtain to buy the property.
And I point blank, told him that we're looking at a number for if you're talking about the entire piece of property.
I'm talking about anything we can get.
Right.
The mayor's working on that right now with that sliver that we're talking about. But at this point, we talked to Bill about, do you realize the prices or the price of this property? And, we threw a number out there that it could be worth as much as $15 to $20 million for the entire piece of property.
Right, and that
I
understand.
He said that, and we had met with Amanda Brockwell.
Yep.
Who told us a year ago that they look at Ocean Township as having a lot of open space already, number one. Number two, they look at this as highway property and the price per acre. So the equivalent of going out west in Warren County or up north to purchase an open space, they might be able to purchase 1,000 acres for $2 million up in Warren County as opposed to 30 acres down here for $20 million. There's a big difference. So they look at all that, but we have been working on trying to get something here for the town.
I mean, from what I understand, they're one of the largest land trusts in Monmouth County, and they also bring in larger trusts throughout the state to work with. So it seems like, especially from when Bill was here last week, it seemed like he was pretty confident about being able to bring something workable to the table.
Oh, well, I hope to work with him.
My second question is, we were talking about the Green Acres funding. Now, did we pass that tax?
Open space, yes.
The open space tax. When
December
was that passed?
6th. December 6th of 2018, we adopted that ordinance.
So now, I'm just curious, how come it hasn't been put into effect yet?
Because it's for the third quarter. That's when all adjustments are at the third quarter. every year.
Okay, and there's no way that we could have sped that up.
No, we could borrow on it right now based on the fact that we're going to have it into the third quarter tax. So if I had to make an agreement, we had to make an agreement next week with them. They say, give you a great deal if you buy now and pay cash now, we could do that. Well, within reason, we still have to bond for it, but we can bond on the strength of that ordinance.
Okay, so we could use that along with what MCF
Yep.
would get us.
Yeah, we don't have to wait till July to buy anything. If that helps you. In other words, July would be the third quarter tax. That's when we'd first get monies in for it. So we could bond for it now because our bond payment wouldn't be till next year anyway, and we use that money to
Do you
float.
know how much that is?
How much the bond would be?
Mm-hmm.
The open space tax would cover about up to $5 million.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
And I feel it seemed like Bill was pretty confident that he could find us some funding, and if we could come in at $5 million, I think that's a pretty good start.
That's $5 million over,
10 years.
so it's $500,000 a year.
We can't pull it all.
Excuse me?
We can't pull all that at once.
Oh, yeah, no. We bond for $5 million,
$5
and our
million.
payment, it's like a mortgage.
$500,000 a year.
It's a 10-year mortgage. It'll
Just so you
cost.
understand, it's not $5 million up front.
No,
Right.
no, it is.
Well, you could
We already
bond it.
approved the tax, so I think at this point the taxpayers are willing to pay that.
Wait, what are you saying, Rob?
To
It's-
save-
the aggregate cost would be $5 million, which we bond for 10 years, which would be $500,000 a year.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, which is about
Right.
$48 a person.
Right, which is what obviously everybody
A year.
approved.
Right.
So it seems to me that
Not everybody approved it.
not everybody approved it, but the majority approved it.
40% of the town didn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
But how many don't come out to vote?
What's that?
Then we're adding
It
even
was
more.
it was an ample majority.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm just saying that there's a significant amount of people that obviously support that,
Yes.
that would support working with MCF to try to save the property.
no-
I'm
nobody's-
coming back to this because I feel like we
Nobody's
have
arguing that.
No, and I know, but I feel like the development now, we have 2 special meetings coming up. I feel like it's getting pushed really quickly into our faces, and I feel like we need a little bit more time. We've been working on this for however many, a year or whatever. It's been lasting longer than that. So it would be nice to know that we are working with MCF at the same pace that we
Get
are
'em in
having
there.
this shoved in our faces.
So here's what happens, Michelle, just so you know. They may come next Monday, they have a meeting. The Monday after that, they'll have a meeting. For some crazy reason, they get an approval on March 15th. Okay, now they have to go through their codification period where it has to get, the appeal period, all that stuff. In the meantime, they're not going to pull a building permit. Once we make a deal on 10, 15, 20, whatever acres we can get save of that property, they're going to drop that off of their plan. We won't even give them a building permit until that deal's done. So nothing's going to happen. They can own the property, they can own it with their approval, but they're not going to be able to do anything with it until we've made our deal. Whether we make it or not, we will make something. So whatever piece we are able to preserve, that'll come off their plan. And then they'll just drop that off of their approval and say, we're not building 72 homes, we're building 28, or we're not building any homes, we're giving the town's buying that property. Okay, so I don't want you to be fearful of the fact just if they get an approval doesn't mean they're going to build that. They're going for the whole package. That's their insurance policy, just in case for some reason the town doesn't want to work with them or buy a piece of that property. They'll have their approvals just the way they had presented their plan. Okay? So we'll have time. We're going to be okay.
I hope so. 'Cause
We are, I
it's moving
promise.
very quickly.
We got the 1515 Logan, didn't we? Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Anna Sweeney. I'm actually from Long Branch. I had a question for the attorney, and I wanted to know, is crowdfunding a legal source for townships, cities alike, to raise funds for something that only a certain portion of the people are for,
I
instead
didn't.
of taxing?
So, like a GoFundMe.
Crowdfunding, like GoFundMe.
Okay. That the town was going to raise funds by a GoFundMe?
Okay, so
Give me a better example. I'm not sure what you're saying. I apologize. I'm not a GoFundMe kind of guy, but go ahead.
instead of voting upon taxing whoever loses, or say if there's a majority of people that want to raise a tax, and then there's say like 40% of people don't want to pay that tax, wouldn't it be fair to have a GoFundMe, or not even necessarily that brand, but anything that will voluntarily get money from people? And also, on top of that, look into other ways to raise funds that isn't necessarily forcing people to give you money.
Well, I think basically the township itself raises funds through taxes. I don't think the township necessarily has, a GoFundMe page, and that's usually more individuals who do that. I mean, certainly if individuals say we're going to have a GoFundMe page and we're going to raise money and then donate it to the township for the purchase of this property, I guess that in theory could happen. But, the open space tax, I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but, that's something that's throughout, the state is being used, and that's why it was done that way.
And I don't mean specifically for this, was it 32 acres? Not on that specifically, but in general, across the board, with any project that, you might ask yourself, well, we might need to raise taxes. Are there other ways that you can raise funds without pulling it out of people's pockets, without their, voluntary consent?
Well, basically, when the town decides to expend funds, they are doing it, in theory, for the benefit of all the people in the town. So whether people are for it or against it, they're ultimately going to all get the benefit of it. Mm-hmm. So even if they're against something, they're going to have to contribute their fair share for whatever that expense is. So, this is not a charitable endeavor. So I don't think they raise funds in that manner. Certainly, again, there could be other people who raise funds that way and donate funds to the township and say, I want this. We have people in town all the time who donate goods and services to, the police department and different parts of the town. And certainly somebody could raise that fund, which may make the need to raise taxes for certain things, may reduce that need. Mm-hmm. But that's the way the township raises funds, because they're basically representing the entire town and not just those people who are in favor of something.
Yeah, I'm just coming from the perspective, of a particular philosophy that governments, small and large, should operate more like a business based on demand and provide something that the people want, and when they do so, they then get a revenue from that. It's kind of like fiscal conservatism, but it's more like running your government like a business. I actually work for a government over in the city of Long Branch, and the philosophy that my director over at the Long Branch Public Library is that we need to run more along the lines of a business. What are the people demanding, and how could we get them excited about what we offer? And we even have a fundraising apparatus called the Friends of the Library that does just that. You guys should look into something like that, because you have a lot of power behind your words, being that you're in the position that you are.
We do have a annually, in fact, I just got a check from Shrewsbury Volkswagen. We have a sponsorship program in town from our corporate sponsors, mm-hmm. and they'll donate money to the town each year, which provides us to have events such as St. Patrick's Day, a parade, or 4th of July fireworks, things like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's funded not through us. Actually, it doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. That's through that.
And I find that to be excellent.
Yeah.
Because it gets people excited about what they're doing. And most of the time you talk about taxes, it's either tax break or tax raise. Either way, somebody's really angry about it.
Let me just say, I think we've actually, and because of them, I don't get too involved in the taxes and the revenue in terms of that, but we've been pretty steady in terms of what we tax our citizens, mm-hmm. and I don't remember the numbers, and I'm sure somebody here does, in terms of what percentage of our expenditures are raised through taxes.
It's only 20%. 20.4% is all we realize from the tax.
But that's all out of the tax bill that you get. If you live in this town, that you don't get, but you get in one, whatever. only 20 some odd % of that money is going to Ocean. The balance is going to the county
Yeah.
and to the Board of Education. But in addition to that, I think of the money we spend, I think there's a percentage that we raise through taxes and we raise revenue in other ways
Yes.
that defer those taxes. So we are, in the essence, operating sort of like that
25%
business.
comes from business operations, basically, of our budget.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're trying
and,
to do that.
and just to let you guys know, this isn't an criticism or anything. This is just to share ideas with you guys. My city in Long Branch is chock full of problems.
I used to be the planning board attorney up
I
until
know.
very recently. In Long Island.
Now we know why.
I just really appreciate fresh ideas and getting it to other municipalities, even if it doesn't directly affect me, can lead to talks with people in my town, given that,
Sure.
there's like,
Shared ideas.
yes, exactly. What that brings me to my second part.
Oh,
I
there's a second part?
recall, what?
I'm teasing. Go ahead.
Oh.
Second part.
I recall Jack told you guys about municipal fiber, the benefits, the cost of it.
Are you Jack's friend?
I'm his girlfriend.
I knew it. Oh, okay. I knew it.
Okay, so he actually tried to propose that to the city of Long Branch, which I believe has an even greater need of it, but they have a lot more bigger fish to fry at the moment. I can't blame them for not giving us more time on it. They have given us some time, and I appreciate that. But when I talk about business, I mean, you're in that particular instance, if you do pull off getting a profit from that, you can benefit the city by giving them a product, and they willingly give you the money for that product, which can go to other things that the town needs. Don't mean to get really political and libertarian, but it is within the non-aggression principle, where you try to avoid pulling money out of people's pockets that don't want it taken out of them. So you guys should look forward to talking to people that have those kinds of ideas.
All the time.
And
That's why we invited him in.
that's all I had.
Great. You did great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else before we adjourn?
Keeper, Jack.
Seeing and hearing no one. Someone make a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Long,
Yes.
Council Members Achara,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sofia.
Yes, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. We air twice a day at 10 o'clock and 7 p.m. Channel 22 via Fios and 77 of Cablevision.